What is up, everybody? Meriden Gaming here. We're back for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Tank Showcase and review. Today we're taking a look at the Tier 10 German tank destroyer, the Jagdpanzer E100. This thing is the end-all be-all of penetration with a total of 420 heat pen. As long as that enemy does not have based armor, you're going through them. Of course, they are also not cheap rounds, but you know, who cares when you smack somebody for 1,000 damage. This is one of the two big heavy hitters in the game, at least for tech tree tanks. The other one being the FV4005, which does more damage but doesn't have the penetration this thing does. There are a couple that come close, but we'll mention those in a comparison. So, yeah, it's basically like a mouse or an E100 without a turret. That's basically the armor design of this thing. It's fairly flat on both sides, but you actually do have decent armor for a TD. So if we go over to the armor profile, now it doesn't look like it has it, but this thing has some really good 299 penetration standard rounds, whereas a lot of stuff, their gold rounds are going to be like 311, 315. So you definitely have better armor than you would think with this thing. 280 is the minimum needed to pen this. Of course, the front plate here, very strong at over 360. There's only like 3 or 4 tanks that can top that, as long as you were straight on. For your lower plate, it looks weak, but it's not really. 230, that's actually better armor than a lot of the heavy tanks at this tier even. So yeah, the main thing with this gun, or this tank you want to do is you're going to fire, and as you pull away, you try to angle yourself to give yourself the best chance at blocking those rounds. Or you can try to bait a shot doing this as long as your lower plate's hidden. Once they fire, you turn into them, fire, and then go back to your angle. It's kind of like playing a mouse without a turret. So yeah, let's go ahead and get over the comparison real quick. So the ones I compared it against are the other big heavy hitters, the FV4005 that has, you know, the big 1150 damage on its standard rounds and 1750 on its gold rounds, but they have less pen. And then the Object 268 and also the WZ is the same gun with the heat pin because it gets closest to the heat pin of the Jagdpanzer, the 395. But that being said, decent DPM for a heavy hitter. Your reload time does seem pretty slow with 24 seconds, so you do have to try to beef that up if you can. That's where the Object 268 and WZ will shine a little bit better because they can not. It's basically every 2 rounds out of the Jagdpanzer, they can get 3 rounds out. So you have to take that into account. So they end up doing more damage because of that. But consistently, even with your standard rounds, you're going to hit really hard with that 299 pen. Like I said, there's some tanks that is their max. In fact, FV 310 is its highest because it has test rounds that only have 230 pen, which is pretty low, but when it hits like a truck. Go ahead and switch this over to our super rounds, those heat pen of 420. Doesn't that look nice? And then we have, you know, 1,000 damage. There's really only a few tanks that are above 1,000 damage. Tech tree wise, it's these two. Alright, then we get down to the caliber 170, so that means, yeah, you'll pretty much can overmatch quite a few different things. Anything under, I want to say it's like 55, you would just go straight through. It's pretty ridiculous. Your round velocity is pretty slow, so this really isn't a sniper. This is more of a kind of mid-range brawler, I would say. You can snipe with it if the need arises because of that 420 heat pin, but yeah, your shell velocity, you have to lead them quite a ways if they're moving. Ammo capacity of 24, which is kind of low, but honestly, I doubt you're going to get off that many rounds with that tank. I've got the one right before it, and I don't think I shoot 24 times with the Jag Tiger. Alright, then we get down to our aim time. So yeah, it's pretty slow for a lot of the other tanks, because each time you want to try to get this down to at least 2 seconds if possible. So you're not having to sit there in the open, you know, slowly aiming in to pull your shot off, because the dispersion is decent, but you definitely want to fully aim in to get the most out of your rounds, because With it being heat rounds, if you're trying to shoot the side of a tank, if you hit the tracks, it's going to absorb the damage. So definitely have to make sure you're fully aimed. But yeah, definitely better than the FV. Not quite as good as the object, but still, you can probably get this down to 0.31, which is sniper level at this tier for sure. And then gun depression and elevation, being a non-turreted tank, it doesn't really do well with that. FV being turreted has a little bit better chance at peeking over hills and whatnot, although honestly, you want to stay unlit with it because the armor on that thing is horrible. Alright, speed! You have no speed. You are basically a heavy tank. You pretty much trundle into your position and you're going to sit there for a while and slowly trundle forward as your team forward. Yeah, because even look at the ground resistance here. The effective speed, 15 over soft. Yeah, that's not great at all. You are literally about the same speed as like a T95. It's painful to watch. Alright, then we get down to our armor. Like I said, this thing actually has decent armor for this type of tank. Kind of along with the Object 268 has decent armor as well because of the angles of the plates. But you definitely cannot brawl against some of those bigger heavy tanks that have a faster reload because yeah, they'll just be able to get to your side and go through without a problem. Down to our camo. Yeah, you're a big old tank. Very tall. Have no camo. But that being said, you do have decent view range at 390. We could actually probably max this out with crew skills and be able to spot for ourselves. That's very handy. But what are the main things we're going to go with? Yeah, you're going to need a gun rammer. I would pretty much put that in the first slot to try to speed up as much as possible. Then vents are a good option. And then it kind of comes down to how you want to do it, but I would probably go with improved aiming because it takes so long for you to aim in. This will help get that circle down a little bit better. We're going to add paint, brothers in arms. I don't think camouflage is going to do much good here, but smooth ride. Eventually you're going to want to get off-road driving and clutch braking, snapshot, and then probably after those intuition, probably going to want to eventually grab situational awareness and recon, and then repairs is always a good kind of final option. But what does that do for us? That gets us down to a reload time of almost 20 seconds, basically 21 seconds, really. So that will definitely help with getting more rounds out. That gets our dispersion down to actually 0.30. That is not bad. There are only a few tanks that are actually lower than that, so at range, at medium ranges, you should be able to hit your target no problem at all. And then, let's see, the other thing we would have changed would have been view range 430 without any equipment. That's actually really good. You will be able to spot yourself, especially if the lights and mediums are dead, if you're trying to hunt down the other, although you're low. But it definitely makes the tank a lot more fun to play, we'll say. Anyway, let's get over to the gameplay. Alright, so we are going to be watching Hunter, the Jagdpanzer E100, and he labeled this thing gold spam. So yeah, he's going to be using those 420 heat pin rounds the entire time. And honestly, that's probably what I would do too if I was playing this tank. Just have a couple of the standard rounds, just for when you have to shoot through buildings or fences and stuff to knock those down. And the mouse is, oh, there he goes, now he's moving. But yeah, look at this and look at the mouse. It's very similar in design when you look at them from the front. Just not quite the same armor. I forgot to mention 2200 health, so that's really good. And he has forgone the fire extinguisher and going with food, which will help beef up the reload time and dispersion even more. A lot of free-to-play players tend not to run food just because it does cost quite a bit extra. This is the first time I'm watching this, so it's kind of a live reaction, so we get to see it in real time. Our future 4, thankfully, yeah, he is going up against 9, so he shouldn't have a problem. Well, Jagdpanzer. He's not gonna have a problem. Gotta wait for his to get down. Oh, right through the side of that, and look, there goes half the dude's health, or more than half his health. Because yeah, you can high roll. With it being 1050, see the problem is that Super Conqueror has spaced armor on the front, so he can't pin that. Hits it. But yeah, you can high roll for around 1250. The one thing he could do is if he could sneak in a shell right beside the gun, but before the spaced armor comes in, or he could try to hit him in that little bar on top. That's exactly what I was about to say. But yeah, there's the two weak points of the Super Conqueror are to the left and right of the gun before the spaced armor comes into place, or that bar, if you can manage to hit it. That range, that's done. Especially when you have a really long reload, you don't really want to take the chance to miss it a lot of the times. Oh, he missed a shot that, or wasn't quite ready for that one tank to drive past. So now it's like you things have moved up. Basically, it's just the Jagdpanzer in the back, which of course he can go through the Jagdpanzer. Gotta try to angle himself so he doesn't get shot. Oh, and see, look, there's a big old high roll. 11:33. It looks like his teammates are going. Oh. Cobra. Gotta watch out for those too. They have Hesh rounds. They can hit pretty hard. But don't turn your turret like that, you're gonna get hit. Not sure if... See, that's what I'm talking about. You angle your armor, you can bounce quite a bit. I'm surprised he actually bounced that heat round from the Jagdpanzer. Just to hit him in the gun or something. Fully aim in and boom! Right through the side and gone. Yeah, that's the one problem is when you have so much damage, you're like, do I want to shoot this dude because it's not going to do the full damage, or do I go ahead and go through him like butter? Oh, Chieftain Proto. Should be able to go through this. Oh, and another one gone. 2 kills. 4,000 damage. And we're not even 5 minutes into the game. Although that's literally like 4 shots for this. Probably gonna hold a shot because I would let someone else. Yeah, that was so little health that taking a long reload after that would have been quite a pain. Alright, time to flank these guys and do some damage. Be careful because there could be stuff up here on the right. There's the Cobra. Lucky announced that. E-Face, you gotta move out of the way, buddy. Cobra is falling back. He dropped off the top there. I think somebody else is gonna get the guy before he can. Or maybe not. Snapshot there. Is the Cobra stuck? I think the Cobra may be stuck. Nope, he is aiming at him. Do I try to get him, or do I let someone else get him? If someone was in the middle, they could have... Better if he let the AE Phase come around, because AE Phase does have the gun depression. There's the Super Conk. Behind something, though. Push the Cobra out of the way. Going Super Conk hunting. Problem is, the Super Conk can run away. Fight a lot better than the Jagdpanzer, and of course, non-turreted vehicle. Be nice if the artillery could track the super conch and then you could actually try to go after him. Conch is fired. Not getting out of the way quick enough. And gone. Snapshot. Nice. Alright, 4 kills. What do they have left? They've got the FV, the artillery, M103, and B. Looks like everything was spotted on the river road last, so this is going to be a painful slog going over there because, as you can see, it's going 15 miles per hour, or kilometers per hour, whichever kilometers it looks like. Get around here, get far enough out. Use of his at this point, he could probably just head straight towards his base and try to catch that FV. Oh, that's not fun. Don't know why he tried to pull that shot, because most likely the 121B will have pulled back by now. Need somebody to spot for him. One, but he's behind something. Oh, sat there for a second. Here's where that gun elevation and gun depression are coming to play, because he can't really shoot that close. He doesn't have the elevation to shoot. Oh, there's an FV, and amen, and boom! Ooh. Got lucky. FV is shooting HE, which their HE rounds are pretty damaging. A lot of other tanks. Like the AE phase finished off the FV for him, so now he's just got to chase down this M3. Ooh. And now comes the problem of... Oh, there's the 103. Hello, sir. Amen, and boom. Poke. For 900 damage. For 993 damage. Like, as long as him and the AE phase can stay alive, got lucky and be reloaded in time to shoot. Like they may end up capping out. It is just the 103 at this point. If he gets lucky and the guy bounces, oh, he's moved on him. So the guys are going in and out of cap to prevent the cap timer. 0. Giving the AE phase and the Jag Tiger. Oh, he's moving. Boom, snapshot, and there you go. Very nicely done. Alright, let's pause that and get over to the end game stats. So, Ace Tanker, Brothers in Arms, High Caliber, and Tank Sniper. He did hit that one blind shot, so on the Cobra, I believe is what it was. Cobra, yep, he did hit that blind shot on the Cobra for 8,008. Nice. So 8k damage, 5 kills, quite a bit blocked there, as you can see, 2,000 damage, although one of those was the FVHE. So really 1,000 damage from everything else. And then ended up doing either tracking or spotting damage for 637. But that is definitely how you play this tank. You got to angle yourself whenever you're not firing. Turn towards the enemy tank, blow it away, and then angle yourself again to not take damage. But anyway, that's going to be it for today. This is Meridian Gaming. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch as well. I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays when my work does not interfere. But yeah, this is Meridian Gaming, and I'll see you on the battlefield.